Good morning, everybody. Hot Patch Monday. We've been waiting for it for a long time, and we're joined by an all-star cast. We have our county executive, Mark Polenkar, with us, our council member, Rashid Wyatt, our county legislator, Taisha St. Jean Tard, Ben Swanikamp, deputy mayor, is here. We've got Bill Geary from the county executive team and several members of the City of Buffalo DPW. So it couldn't be a nicer day to announce our Hot Patch program. What a great spring day to do some hot patching of potholes. So I ran for mayor of the City of Buffalo on the basics. And one of the basics was fixing the darn potholes. The asphalt plants have opened, and the day is finally here. And I also said we were going to seek partnership with our government partners to help us solve our long-standing problems. The days of the City of Buffalo going it alone are over. So we're really proud to be standing here today with our governmental partners, with County Executive Polenkar. But, you know, the difference between a hot patch and cold patch is that cold patch should just be used in an emergency for something that's going to bust your tire while you're waiting for the hot patch to come or waiting for the warmer weather. The hot patch lasts longer. It's a fix, not just a temporary fix. It's more durable, longer lasting, and you can see it happening right here today. The crews are doing the work in a long time. But why the partnership with Erie County? The partnership with Erie County is because the City of Buffalo stopped doing hot patching over 25 years ago. We sold our equipment, we didn't maintain our equipment, and our workforce has not been trained on how to do it. So County Executive Polenkar and his team stepped up to work with us today. They're providing equipment, they're providing experienced staff. So together we're building our own A-team within our engineering division so we can take this on ourselves in the future. But right now we need the tutelage from the county so we can get there. So our team will be out there 1 or 2 days a week. It's a joint team. At the same time, we're going to be building up our ability to do it ourselves. And hopefully someday in the future, if the county needs help, we'll be able to go lend them a helping hand. So we want to build a system that we can scale up to solve this problem. But we know that we need a smart approach. Not every pothole needs the same fix. Larger potholes that keep coming back, those are the best candidates for hot patch, and that's why this method has the biggest impact. We'll use cold patch where it makes sense, but it's really about using the right tool for the right job. We're also going to change how we track this work moving forward. 311 requests will be closed once a pothole is confirmed filmed. That means real accountability. Better data can also show us where we need to pay more attention. So if you see a pothole, call 311 or go online to report it yourself. We'll track it and we'll fix it. We're also partnering with Civil, the company, to map all potholes across the entire city. We were out here a few weeks ago. They have a great system. It's a car kitted out with cameras and little depth finders and x-rays and sonar, and they go through and they will give us in real time how deep the pothole is, what kind of fix should be needed for that. They can do the curb lines, and they're also going to do all the sidewalks. So instead of the city having to go out and look at Hewitt Street to look at a pothole, we can just bring Hewitt Street up right on the computer, contemporaneously in real time, figure it out. So we won't have to have crews, riding around the city to get there to evaluate it and have to come back with the right tools. So this is what fixing the basics looks like. Better tools, better coordination, better data, better partners, and accountability. We know that City of Buffalo residents expect results, and they deserve results. And we are going to deliver the results as we continue to build a better Buffalo. Once again, the City of Buffalo has been in this go-it-alone mentality for way too long, and it hasn't borne results. Partnerships is what gets us into a better future, and I'm so proud to be here today with my partner in county government, our county executive, Mark Poloncarz. Thanks so much, Mark.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Ryan. It is great to be here on Bailey Avenue in the city of Buffalo. As the mayor noted, we're joined by legislator St. Jean Tard, as well as Councilmember Wyatt. We have a number of members from our Erie County Department of Public Works here, including our Commissioner of Public Works, William Geary, as well as District Engineer Joe Donlin. And I'm so glad to see that we have Don Polito and Mark Pope from the City of Buffalo's Department of Public Works here as well. This is not the first time that the county has worked with the city public works on matters. We deal with it in emergencies. We've dealt with it in flooding and snowstorms. Don's not a part of the county team, but he might as well be because we've worked a lot together through the years. But we're very pleased to be here today to help the city go in a different direction with regards to road repair. Hot patch is the way to go for a more permanent fix before you're actually able to overlay a road. Mill and overlays of roads can be very expensive, almost $1 million or $500,000 for a mile of road where you've got 2 lanes. When you have a larger road like Bailey, it's going to cost you $1 million basically to do a mile of road. So you need to go out there and be able to repair them in the interim until you can actually do those permanent fixes. And what's important about hot patch versus cold patch is it lasts longer. It actually binds to the system. We don't use cold patch except when there are no hot patch asphalt plants open. So when it's February or March, if we can get some cold patch in the county, we'll put it in to fill a pothole, but it's not a permanent fix and it's not a long-term solution. That's why we use hot patch in pretty much all of our skid paving, our paving that's done with the drop hammer, so to speak. We work on that because we know it lasts longer. People want brand new roads, but roads are very expensive. As I noted, it costs $500,000 just to mill and overlay, a basic mill and overlay, about a mile of road for 2 lanes. So you've got to be able to repair them in the interim. And that's why we're very pleased to be here to help train the City Department of Public Works teams on how to properly hot patch a road, depending on the method of hot patch that you use. And very soon, I believe, a paver from the county will be here as well to show them how to properly do it when you're doing a larger type paving job. But what we want to do is train them so that we can assist the city so that it can then take this up on its own. And so for the next few weeks, we're going to be working with them a few days a week to help them. But then eventually, as the city acquires the equipment, because it's not just about having hot patch, it's about actually having the equipment to do the work, including small rollers or larger pavers. The city does not have a paver like we just spent. How much did we spend? $500,000 just on one new paver for the county this year. But that paver is going to last 20 years and it's going to allow us to do more work. But you got to have that investment in place before you can do the work. So I want to thank our Department of Public Works teams in the county for working with the city and the city's teams for understanding that, hey, we all got to learn things. When you're new in government, you got to learn things. If there's not something that you haven't done before, you got to learn on how to do it. So I'm really very pleased that we're able to offer this relationship. The county works with the city in many different ways. As I announced during my State of the County just last week, Erie County's invested $64 million in all kinds of programs and buildings in the city of Buffalo since 2020 alone. The city has a financial problem. We understand that. The county cannot solve its financial problem, but we can help them along the way so that they can step forward and get to a better position. Erie County went through a financial crisis of its own, the red green fiscal crisis. We lifted ourselves up from rock bottom, and I know the city is going to do the same under the strong leadership of the mayor. He's doing the right things, he's taking the right actions, and I'm very pleased that we're able to assist them in the interim so that we can help fix issues in the city of Buffalo, a city I live in, and a city that I want to see just as many potholes removed in the city just as there is in the county. And when it comes to a county road, if you find a pothole in the county road, you can email us at potholes@erie.gov. It'll go straight to our Department of Public Works teams. They will identify it, and they will fix that pothole. And as I said, in the interim, it's a great way of repairing a road until you can actually do that full mill and overlay, which costs a lot of money. So that's why we don't do mill and overlays on every road across the community, but we fix the potholes when we can. Email us at potholes@erie.gov and just ensure that your city and your county are working together to create a better community for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, County Executive, polling cars. Council members are on the front line. They get the calls. They're out on the street. So it's my pleasure to bring up Council Member Rashid Wyatt.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, County Executive, for your partnership. We all know the City of Buffalo's financial situation is dire. But to have this taken care of, or having a partnership established for the residents of the City of Buffalo, especially in the University District or Bailey Avenue, is crucially important. I'm looking forward to not getting those emails from people complaining about Bailey Avenue. And it's a process that, again, as the County Executive talked about, it is about educating. I mean, we haven't done this in about 25 years, as the Mayor stated. And so for us to become more efficient, more effective, better use of our resources, this is incredibly important. Again, if we're talking about quality of life, these are the quality of life issues. So many people have complained about hitting potholes and damaging their funding in their cars. That's reality. That's a difficulty that many people don't want to deal with because it's very costly. So again, I thank the County Executive for his partnership. I thank the Mayor for his leadership. I know some people will say we should have did this a long time ago. Well, if the plants weren't closed, we could. But I'm looking forward to hopefully getting new technology. I know that Tonawanda has something that they can use that debris from that pothole to recycle it so that it can be more effective. But that's something, again, you have to have money to do that. So again, I appreciate this this effort, especially on Bailey Avenue, because I'm looking forward to focusing on the budget now and not the potholes. But thank you again, Mayor, for your leadership.
All right, thank you, Rashid. Thank you, Council Member. We also have with us today Erie County Legislator Taisha St. Jean Tard, and I welcome her to the microphone.
Well, it's a great day in Erie County. I would like to say I've been complaining about the potholes since I was a staffer back in the day. And I still was complaining about the potholes. Deputy Mayor has been really helpful. But when you look at this, we need to fix Bailey Avenue. But this is the first step. There is going to be a Bailey Avenue streetscape coming. But if you drive down Bailey Avenue like I do every day, your tires are feeling it. There's holes all over. And for us to be able to do hot patches that hasn't been done for 25 years, that's a huge deal. So thank you for your leadership, but also thank you, County Executive, for stepping up and being a great partner. But I also want to mention, not only the County Executive has lent his staff to do this, but when I'm advocating working together for dollars to go to the city, the County Executive is always pushing that forward. So thank you for that. I'm excited for this. My car's more excited, I would say, but I look forward to next year where we start seeing a brand new Bailey Avenue. Thank you again, Mayor, for your leadership.
Right, thank you. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Ben Swanekamp has been working on this effort for several months. My pleasure to bring him up to the microphone now.
I got old boss here, got new boss here. It's a great collaboration. I'm just so excited. These are the kinds of initiatives I was looking forward to seeing Buffalo launch when I left the county to come work for Mayor Ryan. This is a great project here, but the city can't do it alone. The learning and the training coming from Commissioner Geary, District Engineer Donald and his team is going to be invaluable. So when July 1st, and hopefully our budget stays fairly intact and we have the equipment and gear we need for our public works crews, that they can stand on their own and make hot patching a routine part of city government. We made major investments in public works throughout the budget that we proposed, and hot patching is a core foundation of that for our engineering team. So we're looking forward to the city being able to get this going on its own. It's really exciting stuff. I think the roller and the for the skid paving is back there right now, so we're gonna get some more stuff going now, some new techniques.
Yes, thank you.
And this is promises for a huge quality of life improvement for city residents, and we're so pleased to be able to partner with our friends at the county to make it happen.
So our DPW Commissioner, Nolan Skipper, can't be with us today, but he's been working on this too, and who he works it with is his counterpart in Erie County, Bill Geary. Bill Geary is the all-around person to go to in the 8 counties of Western New York. If you have a problem about how to fix something, you call Bill Geary. So happy to be in a partnership with Bill.
Thanks, Mayor. So thanks. I don't really want to go over too much, but echo everything that the Mayor, County Executive, Councilman, Legislator have all said. This is a great opportunity. quality of life here. The noise will be down because you don't have those potholes, trucks going over, banging, not just your car and your front end, but also that noise for anybody that lives in the area. One of the biggest points, though, we're learning every day. I learn something new every day. The team here learns something new. But this is more about relationships. We can't do our jobs without relationships. And this gets the county and everybody from the city together, not just at the upper ends, but at the beginning of how you come into either county or city government, working together, have that recognition so that when we do have bad times of need, we can pick up the phone and that networking and that team can come together and collaborate to get us through those hardest days. So I just want to thank everybody here for giving us the opportunity, but also we look forward to working together even more in the future. So thank you.
Well, thanks everyone from the city-county team for coming together today. And does anyone have any questions for me or anyone else who's here today?
Explain a little bit more about the difference between pot patching and cold patching.
We'll leave it to an expert.
So it's just two different ways the material's made. In the wintertime, about 4 months out of the year from November till April, this year was April 1st, the plants that make the hot material also make a cold patch material, but it's very intense on the amount of resources you have to get. The hot material comes out at 300 degrees. So in the winter months, it's just really tough for all those plants, unless it's an absolute emergency, to make any hot material. The amount of natural gas that would go into heating all that. So the cold patch is just a temporary, just exactly what it says, but it's also a financial difference. A cold patch is about $110 a ton, where hot patch can be anywhere from $60 to $70 a ton, and then it's a long-term fix. The cold patch goes in, it doesn't really conform and fill the hole just like the hot patch will, and like County Executive and the Mayor said, this bonds to the existing asphalt that's there, so that's a long-term fix, and those dollars are better spent.
If I could just say one thing, to think about it, hot patch is basically the same thing as what is used during a mill and overlay. So when the commissioner was saying it bonds because it's the same basic substance. Cold patch is much more granular in nature, and so it does not bond permanently adhere to the hole in the rest of the blacktop like hot patch does. And as was noted by the commissioner, one of the reasons we use hot patch is not only it lasts longer, but the other main reason, it's cheaper. It's less expensive to use hot patch per ton than it is cold patch. So I commend the mayor and his team, Deputy Mayor Swanenkamp, for understanding that it was important to go from the old cold patch system to the hot patch. It does require some equipment that the city doesn't have, but you buy that equipment once, you've got it for 20 years, as compared to using the same type of equipment, an old system, the cold patch, which actually costs more to fill the potholes for the tonnage than the hot patch does.
So it's a real prime example of the city not investing in itself, but because we didn't buy equipment, we were then stuck with paying more for materials for a generation. So we paid more for a product that didn't work as well. So that's the paradigm that we're shifting today. Jim Fink? Oops.
I know I asked this a couple weeks ago at the civil press conference. Is there a rating system for potholes? So, which one's good?
Yeah, there's not a rating systems like roads, but that's why we're moving to this new technology where we're able to film and use data to determine the depth of different potholes, and that's what we will use to go forward to prioritize potholes.
We do not want to wait for the capital budget process, and these are smaller purchases ultimately. This is not very expensive stuff. So we put cash directly in the 26-27 proposed budget in the engineering department to have the money available July 1st to get going on this stuff. Exactly, yes. Equipment and material. Yep. In engineering, I know the hot boxes are like $150,000 each. That Tonawanda recycler, what's how much? 70? Yeah, it's not that expensive. That Tonawanda item, I think there's one in Batavia right now, actually, that we're looking at. So we could probably get this stuff right away in July.
How much do you think you'll spend on this road, despite the fact that it's going to be rebuilt? Do you have like a date how much to spend in the next
So, I mean, for the full rebuild, or are these kinds of like temporary repairs? Well, I think just from Minnesota to here, we did about 2.5 tons from the one hot box. So you can axe that out across the area, and what we're at, Bill, what'd you say?
About $150.
Yeah, so pretty cheap, just manpower. And, Mr. Pope and Don have assembled, their A-team of guys that are out here, their best pothole guys, learning these techniques, so they'll be good to go all year.
Can you clarify on the no hot patch for the last 25 years? Is that just the city not doing it, or is there never any hot patch?
No, I'm only talking to the city of Buffalo. The county's been hot patching forever, yeah.
But I mean, in the city,
Yes.
does the county come in and hot patch?
No, this is not their jurisdiction. There is not a mile of county road in the city of Buffalo.
Did the city do any like outside contract for hot patch, or it just is not been used at all?
Yeah, so there would be like let's say a broader area of mill and overlay, right? So you could do like a driving lane width of mill and overlay in some spots. That's kind of like a temporary patch. That's think of it as hot patch, but a broader rectangular section.
So how many have you patched so far? Just the ones here today?
This is our first one today. Yep. From Minnesota to here, and then we're gonna hit up with the skid paving.
How much closer does this put us to having viable roads, less bumping? I've been driving down Bailey my entire 48 years, and Bailey's been bumpy my entire 48 years.
Yes, and so next summer, our city engineer has been working hard on getting out to bid a major reconstruction project that'll do these permanent repairs. We've got Middle Main kicking off. We got the final section of Cars on Main. Those big, very expensive engineering projects are the ultimate solution. But for routine day-to-day stuff, to keep quality of life okay, this is the way to go. Buffalo has 1,400 lane miles of road. It's a fairly heavy amount of roadway to cover. It's a big city, geographically speaking, but the hot patch will go a long way.
If I can just say one thing. On the engineering projects, when I talked about the mill and overlay at about $500,000 a mile, the engineering projects are those that really kind of rip it up to its core, often do replace drainage, storm sewers. That's about $3 million a mile. And we're seeing it. If you've been in Cheektowaga and Borden Road, you can see we're in phase 3 of a project that's basically more than $10 million to do just a few miles of road, but you got to redo drainage at the same time. So people ask me often, why don't you do more of those types of projects? And when I tell them how expensive it is per mile, they're like, oh, I guess I understand it. I didn't realize it was that expensive. And if there's one thing that is affected by the increasing price of oil, it's the cost associated with doing road repair, because it increases the cost associated with purchasing asphalt. So we're very hopeful that the price of oil drops, because if they resolve the issue with the war in Iran and the price of oil drops, it'll actually reduce the cost per tonnage for mill and overlays in those reconstruction projects. So we keep an eye on things like that when you're talking about road repair. Most people would never think there's a correlation between the war in Iran and the cost for road repair, but there is, because of
the month of April. It went up $8 a ton.
It went up $8 a ton for the month of April, according to Commissioner Geary. But something like that, closing off the Strait of Hormuz, can actually affect how many roads get repaired in the county and the city, because it impacts the amount of the cost per tonnage. And we only have set aside a certain amount of money per year to invest in roads. And if the cost goes up, that means we're actually reducing the total amount of lane miles that we can repair.
Last one here.
Last week's ruling on the bonds will mean for roads.
Last week's ruling on the bonds is good news for the city of Buffalo, whether you're talking roads, community centers, building repairs, pool repairs. So that money had been stuck for 2 years. So we're going to work hard to get that money out into the street for this summer, but we're behind, right? So these jobs should have been bid out months ago. So, but in all, it's very good news for the city of Buffalo that we can get these long delayed projects moving.
All right, thanks everybody.